Alright, hello. Something I think I forgot to mention in that last video. So we're going back over some stuff that was in the last video. And what we're dealing with is we're dealing with the three eclipses, okay, that happened in the United States, okay. The 4/8 eclipse, the 8/21, which was back in 2017, and the 10/14 back in 23 eclipse as well, okay. And we're just looking for some number jumps and where they pop up around this time of year, okay. Now, to cut a long story, well, just go watch the last video. But I forgot to mention some of this stuff with Donnie Darko, and in Donnie Darko, the number on his arm. This is. Oh, let's put a hand here. Ooh. So the number on Donnie Darko's arm is numbers for the end of the world. 28 days, 6 hours, 42 minutes, 12 seconds. Okay. And what I also have here is I have underneath, I have the number plate on the car that hits Gretchen, and that is the scene where Frank gets shot in the eye, and then after that scene, pretty much Donnie, that's the end of Donnie as well, towards the end of that. That's towards the end of the film, okay? Anyway, Donnie has to make the Christ sacrifice to save everybody, basically. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up now, okay, because we were looking at a particular day, which was the 13th in that last video, so the 13th of January, and that happened to be 280 days from the eclipse date, okay. So there's 280. What's fascinating is if we look on Donnie's arm, the 280, we can pull that 280 out of there, okay. This is what I forgot to mention. Now, what's also interesting about that is in that last video I was mentioning about we can go from this other eclipse date, the one in blue here, and we can because we're close to, we're at 27 something here, we can move on and see where 2800 comes out as a kind of a numerical matchup for this 280. So when we did that number jump and we went 2800 days from 8/21/17, it brought us out on the Queen's birthday, 4/21/2025. Now, if you also look in this Donnie Darko arm thing here, so we have the 2800, we have this number at the start again as well, but we also have the Queen's birthday in here as well. Okay, we have the 4/21 in there as well. I just thought it was worth mentioning. I know we've got this random 6 in here, we've got this 2 at the end, and then, you know, I don't know, it's just interesting anyway. One other thing I will mention though is that the number plate also has this 6-4 in the center of it, and of course Donald Trump is born in 46 and Kamala Harris is born in 64. So this was quite interesting with this play backwards and forwards with this number. And in the number plate as well, it has this dash. Okay, it doesn't in the arm stuff. The arm stuff just has dots, I believe, you know, between these numbers. So anyway, it has this dash. Now, of course, that dash, you know, if you just turn it up the other way, okay, we've got Donald Trump's birthday within there as well. So I just thought that was worth mentioning. That's a bit fudgy, a bit of fudgery there. Anyway, let me get to what I really wanted to mention here now, is because I got one other thing to mention, is you might or might not have seen. Well, actually, you probably won't have seen it because I'm basically letting YouTube pick out my so there's the numbers on the arm, so we just have a quick look at them. Okay, and let me show you this image because I want to talk about this. This is out of Back to the Future. This is the amp in Back to the Future, the CRM 114. CRM 114, and this is where Marty gets ejected from the amp, sort of, almost like the amp is being destroyed at the same time giving birth to him. So the CMR 114, and one other thing to mention with that 46 and everything is that the numerology with Doc's address as well, 1640 Riverside Drive. Okay, don't forget about that. Okay, now Donnie Darko references Back to the Future several times. You know, he mentions the time machine, the DeLorean, and if we look at the actual release dates here with the October the 26th, okay, this is when Marty does all his jumps in Back to the Future. And notice we have the 119 here as well with the reference to 9/11 2001. I also notice we have 113 here with the minutes of the film. This is kind of interesting, given that the 13th is this day we were just looking at here on this. Okay, this is 113 here. Again, Great Scott. The 30th of November also gives us 113 numerology. So this is, you know, great. Could be a Great Scott reference as well. You know, we could go around in circles with the references to 113 or 311. And 311, I must just mention as well, that is our main number jump between 9/11 and 2/13, and then through to 187, which is, I think it's the 18th of July. The only reason why I bring that up is because if you add these numbers up here, you know, there's another thing. If you add these numbers up here, as you'll see on, if you watch Finis Temporis, 88 Finis Temporis, you will get the numbers 88 if you add these numbers up. 28, 6, 42, and 12. If you add these numbers up in reverse, okay, 21, 24, 60, and 82, you will get 187, okay, the 18th of July, which again is part of that 311 jump. Well, it's a 310 or 311 depending on whether it's a leap year or not, but it's a, you know, that 311 jump is, the 187 is part of that. Okay, I don't know how to explain it without actually showing them the whole fold, you know, showing you all the numbers and everything else. This all ties in with 155 and 55, and that makes, you know, we've got two lots of 155, which makes our 310 or 311 in a leap year with a further 55-day jump, and that takes us full circle. This date, 213 and 9/11 are all in these jumps, okay, with these numbers. Oh dear. Hopefully that, I mean, that's probably confused a bunch of people. I just want, you know, there's just hidden things in all this stuff without doing like a million little videos on, you know, every little bit. It's difficult to kind of explain some of the references that are in here and the importance of some of these references. But anyway, another thing to note is, I don't know if I said this already, but when we have this 280 here, notice that we do have the reference to the 48 with the 48 eclipse in this other art, in the number plate. and there are a ton of again. Go watch 88 Finis Temporis, and he has got a bunch of stuff on Donnie Darko and the um, eclipse references that are in the film. There's quite a lot of them. Right now, can I remember where I was going with this? I can't remember where I was going. Yeah, I'm going to show you this last little bit. So if you recall, I showed you a few videos back now. This jump from Christmas, yeah, like 12/25 through to the 31st of the year, you know, through to 12/31, which was 7 days inclusive. Okay, and then from the 1st, you know, through to the 7th, we had another 7 days. Okay, and so the 77, yeah, we had 14 days, you know, from one to the other, and it was 7 days and then another 7 days. Okay, so we've had, so let me just write this in here. So we had 7 days from Christmas up to this point, to the 31st, and then from the 1st through to this 7 day here was another 7 days. And I was saying, you know, this is the reflection. This date here is the reflection, as I got a little cross here. This is the reflection of Christmas on the other side of the year. The 7th is. Now, if we did another 7 days, so if we went from the 8th here and jumped through to the 14th, that's another 7 days there. Okay, this 14th here then is, I don't know if you this leapfrogging reflective nature of this thing, because we've got, I don't know, this is a rebirth. This is again a rebirth thing here. Christmas was a rebirth thing. This here is another rebirth thing, and so here, you know, on the 14th, could this be another rebirth thing here? Okay, it's a possibility, isn't it? You know, Donnie Darko's arm, you know, above it with the 280, and then the following day. Now you'll see where I'm going with the CRM 114, which happens to also be Hoover Dam coordinates as well, 114. But if this is another sort of variation of Christmas here with the 114, my thought was, draw it up here, 8th through to the 14th, okay, and this being another form of Christmas here, just a reflective date, you know, another reflective date, another mirror. Yeah, imagine we just had lots of mirrors running through here and everything sort of, you know, reflecting with one another, right? What makes this 14th interesting is that we have, yeah, this date 114, which in, you know, which I just showed you, the CRM. Okay, now I was thinking, hang on a minute, see, you know, see what I'm thinking there? C, R, and M. I don't know. Could that possibly be an abbreviation for Christmas? CRM. Might be, eh? I don't know. Anyway, that's really what I wanted to show. You know, all this stuff in Donnie Darko. I mean, it is fascinating. You know, I mean, I know it's not, the number's not dead on anything, but it is fascinating that you can pick those numbers out of there. And man, the 88 that's in there, the reference Back to the Future with the 88, the reference to 9/11 with 88. I mean, 88 is a direct reference to 9/11, in my opinion, just simply based on how the Fibonacci sequence works. And so, I don't know. It's kind of fascinating. The other thing is, in this last seven, yeah, so the triple seven, yeah, the jackpot again, yeah, that's the jackpot in Vegas, and it's also 21 days, 21, and the jackpot. That's fascinating that we kind of have that two references there, really, with the fruit machines and blackjack and the jackpot, and this 814 as well. That's kind of fascinating because that is our missing 28 days earlier than 9/11, and again 28 days earlier than 9/11. 28 days earlier than 9/11. The 13th. 13th into the 14th, maybe something. I don't know. I'm still wondering about Kamala Harris tomorrow, maybe because just because of the 22, just because of the two bunny ears on the dollar bill being right to do with Donald Trump's so-called assassination attempts. I mean, it's just fascinating. The 14th will be again. That she'll be 221. The amount of stuff I've had with Madonna, yeah, with 122. This looks fascinating, you know. And then what else is there? The 15th she'll be 222, which is interesting as well. Oh dear. Anyway, I think Drew Barrymore is 222s with her birthday, which is again fascinating. Seeing as she's in Donnie Darko. Um, I'm gonna leave it there. I think I'm gonna leave it there. Um, yeah, 777. This is this next 7 day end of this next 7 days here. I mean, we did have some interesting stuff on the on 7-1, so kind of fascinating stuff. Oh dear. All right, thanks for watching. Cheers, bye.